Alex Yam, Assistant Organizing Secretary of the People's Action Party, drew a distinction between the PAP's reshuffling of key cabinet ministers on nomination day and opposition leader Chee Soon Juan's decision to move away from Bukit Batok. Speaking on Friday, Yam explained that the PAP was able to provide clear justifications for its decisions, stressing they were made with valid reasons and not arbitrarily. He pointed out that the core issue with Chee's move was his previous public commitment not to abandon Bukit Batok, only to reverse the decision shortly after. The difference is that Chee made a public pledge not to abandon Bukit Batok, and days later, made the decision that he would swap. That is the crux of the issue, Yam said, referring to the Singapore Democratic Party Secretary-General's shift to contest the Sembawang West seat. Health Minister Ong Ye Kung, who leads the PAP team in Sembawang GRC, addressed the situation the previous evening during a rally speech, calling Chee's move a calculated political move made after a decade of disinterest in the northern region. Yam's comments came after he and Prime Minister Lawrence Wong visited UT for a walkabout. The pair spent about 2 hours engaging with residents, shaking hands, taking photos, and distributing flyers at UT Square and UT Point malls, as well as visiting the nearby Sparkle Care Senior Care Centre. Yam, who has represented Marsiling UTGRC since its formation in 2015, reiterated the importance of deploying candidates in the best interest of voters. He supported Wong's earlier explanation that Deputy Prime Minister Gan Kim Ying's move to the new Punggol GRC was strategic to ensure strong representation in the East. The late deployment of Gan and Manpower Minister Tan See Leng, among others, was not the result of urgency but part of a deliberate effort to offer voters the best opportunity to make an informed decision, Yam explained. He contrasted this approach with Chee's change of heart, stressing the promise made and the subsequent shift to another constituency ahead of the 3rd May elections. Chee, who ran unsuccessfully in Bukit Batok during the 2020 general election and the 2016 by-election, had previously led the SDP team in Holland Bukit Timah GRC during the 2015 elections. The Bukit Batok seat was later absorbed into the Jurong East Bukit Batok GRC following the latest electoral boundary review. On the matter of campaigning, Yam pointed out that unlike opposition parties, the PAP cannot selectively choose which part of the island to contest. For us, we don't have a choice of a northern campaign or a southern campaign or central campaign, or SMC. We are in government. Our responsibility is to every single Singaporean, Yam stated. He added that while it is acceptable to present counter-narratives or alternative policy proposals, these must be grounded in reality rather than just political statements aimed at securing votes. Yam's comments quickly sparked a strong response from netizens under a CNA Facebook post. Several users pointed out that if Yam was questioning Chee's move, the PAP should also explain the changes involving its own party members' constituencies. One user asked why Ng Chee Meng had abandoned Sengkang voters to contest Jalan Kayu, asking, is it because he wants to prove his worth by contesting an SMC? The user further questioned why reasons given by opposition parties are deemed questionable, while those provided by the PAP are considered valid. Others highlighted the fact that prominent PAP figures, including Ong Ye Kung and Koh Po Koon, had also switched constituencies, Ong moving from Aljunied and Koh from Punggol East. A number of users defended Chee, arguing that he did not abandon Bukit Batok, as suggested by Yam. They pointed out that Bukit Batok was absorbed into the Jurong East Bukit Batok GRC, following the recent electoral boundary review. This, they argued, was due to the redrawn boundaries, not a personal decision to abandon his voters. Some users also urged the PAP to reflect on their own actions when making such remarks. They claimed that had the PAP not shifted the electoral boundaries at the last minute, Chee would have remained the representative for Bukit Batok. One user commented, every election the boundaries are redrawn for whatever reason. Reasons are made to justify the decision, but it still doesn't make any sense. One user called for a shift in focus towards policy issues rather than personal attacks. The user argued that the electorate was more interested in hearing how candidates would address the rising cost of living and the evolving economic challenges. What the people want to hear is how, if elected, they can contribute to managing rising costs and tackling the new economic environment that is still evolving, they wrote. The user further emphasized that voters are less concerned about which constituency a candidate contests, as it ultimately boils down to one nation.